Hello, this is Kevin from Wild Coffee Homestead. I've had several of you ask for me to explain in more detail how to make a container garden, a wicking bucket system. So I think we need some parts to do that, so let's see if maybe we can head up to Tractor Supply and get those for us. So hang on, let's go. All my favorite girls in the garden, Haley and Bonnie and Charlotte and Dulcie. Yeah, I'm gonna run up to Tractor Supply to pick up some things for our video today. So
Okay.
I'm gonna
Can
do
we
that.
go too?
Oh no, that's dangerous. There may be chickens.
Ah.
We aren't ready for chickens yet. Oh.
But I wanted chickens.
You want chickens too? Haley wants chickens. Yeah, Bonnie wants chickens. I'll just run through real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys. Chickens are dangerous. It's not that I mind chickens, it's just we're not ready for chickens. We got to get ready for chickens, but we are ready for container gardening. Let's do that now. All right, here we are, Tractor Supply. Did I spin you around too quick? Stop off to get our first supplies. They sold their last muck bucket yesterday. So, plan B. We don't necessarily need a bucket, just any kind of container. So let's go try someplace else and let's get ourselves a container, because I'm going to show you how to make a wicking bucket system, even if I don't have a bucket. We'll find something even better. Hang in there with me. Let's go. So you might have guessed, I'd end up at one of the other candy stores for men. The orange one. You might say, well, why'd you pick the orange store, not the blue store? Well, it was closer. So here we are. Let's go try to find ourselves a box that we can use, a container that we can use. Let's get it. This one's 10. This one's 30. 10, 30, 10, 30. I get 3 times as many as this one. I like that kind of math. So what we're going to do here is cut our pipes the right dimension. So just to make it a little easier, I'm going to measure. My bucket is 21 inches, so I will cut my pipe 20 3/4. Just borrow one of those slots to start my knife and then follow it around. So then my pipe will fit in the bottom. It looks like I can do 3 of those. What we're going to do, we have this hole here. I'm going to put this towards one end. The pipe that I've cut, the one with the little angle, will go here. The idea being, I don't want it to bottom out. Now if you find your pipe might contour and bottom out, now the ridges will help a little bit. If you find it contour, you can even notch it. We want that to be able to fill that cavity. So then I just put that in here and I leave my extra pipe sticking above, and that's where we'll water, is through this pipe. And it just will go right down into that hole right there. And then the fabric lining, we'll show you that. Now it's time to prepare the pipes. We'll do that. These pipes have slots in them so they can weep moisture. But I want to control the soil. I don't want the soil to fill the pipes, because eventually it would, and that would just clog the system. So what I'm going to do is just make end caps for the pipes, and I have 3 pipes, so I have 6 ends. And I will create an end cap for each one. I don't particularly care how much. I need enough fabric, but I don't mind if there's just a little extra. And then I'm going to use this landscaping ribbon to just tie that in place. Once it's in place, it'll be underground and it won't deteriorate as quickly as it would in the sun. So this will be step number 1 in creating a barrier. I will just tie these here in place, something like that. And just to kind of hold everything there as we're pouring in soil and working with it. And what'll happen, that'll also wick and will prevent soil, compost, things like that from getting in there. Then what we're going to do, so you can see their placement, we'll put these 3 in here. Remember, we have the special one. The special one has a hole. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. There's my hole. So I'm going to put that at one end, and they kind of fit in there real nice and snug. I really like the shape of that bucket. So then I put my slot, my 45 down below. Now because of the curve, maybe the square would work better, and we could certainly experiment with that. But then this goes in the corner like this, and that becomes my filler tube. Now you could end there, you could stop there with creating the wicking system. There's one vital component left, though. We need a way for water escape. So we'll fill this, but we only want to fill it so far. In the top of each one of these tubes, we want to leave an air pocket. So what we're going to do, we're going to come along the side of this bucket, of this box, and put a hole. We want that hole to be not above, not below, but about 3/4 of the way up, so that we have a spot inside this pipe that holds air. So somewhere right about here, we'll go in there. Clumsy today, about 4.5 inches, so about there. So if I go at about 3.5 inches, then I have an inch in the top of that pipe, and that'll give me an air pocket. So if this is our pipe, we're going to create an air pocket in the top. So what'll happen, this will fill up with water, and then weep back out. The roots and the soil will wick what it needs. We're feeding the plants from the bottom, not from the top. A completely different system than a lot of the other systems we use in gardening, but really effective, especially in container gardening. Now that means we're not putting dirt in our containers, and we'll talk about that in video number 2, the follow-up to this video. We'll show you what soil, what potting mix, in a sense, you create to make this system work for you. Now, depending on the size of your pipe, your PVC, will depend on what size drill you can use. You can use a flat spade bit, or you can use one of these hole saws. I find 1.25 inch works really well for, this is 3/4 inch PVC. 3/4 inch PVC. Obviously US measurement, so if you're outside of the US, you may find it different, but you just want this to exceed the exterior of the pipe. Many times your pipe dimensions are from the interior, not the exterior. So a 3/4 inch pipe on the interior is about 1 1/8 inch on the outside. So I'm using 1.25 inches to get there. Now for the hole that I'm going to put in the bucket, I don't necessarily want it to be that large. So I'm using a smaller bit, and this is 7/8 here. It could be 3/4. 5/8. All that'll do is just slow it down a little bit longer. It's a smaller hole. So remember, we're going to go 3.5. Now I have a little bit of thickness here, so I'm going to make the center of my hole 3.5. It means it'll have a slightly higher spot and a slightly lower spot, and you can put this hole wherever you want. But the way we're going to set this up, we're going to put ours in the side of this bucket. And the side's a good thing. The long side's a good thing because it kind of can work. There's our hole. Now this is see that hole there? See how the pipe is coming into the side of the pipe. I don't know if you can see that there. Hopefully you can. So that could be the end of the system. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people don't cap the ends and cover the whole pipes. I would do that especially if you have the pipes with round holes, because they're so much larger than these slots, these weeping holes, and I can show you a picture of that. But if you had the bigger holes, you certainly would want to put fabric cloth here. My goal in the containers is not to replace the soil each year, so I'm not going to come in and repair fabric cloth or clean out pipes and things like that. Just for an extra measure of effectiveness, I'm going to do both. I'm going to add the fabric at the end caps like this, and then I'm going to put fabric over the whole pipe. So let's do that now. I want that fabric to be a little bit larger so I can tuck in the sides. So good 3 or 4 inches on either side, bigger than the bucket. Now if your bucket is larger than your weed cloth, obviously you could use 2 pieces and overlap them. See how I've really tucked that in there, and that'll be an effective system for years. The last thing I'll do is find where my hole is again. That thing's disappeared on me again, and then just put a little slot in there and put that back in. Now, what reasons would you want to container garden? There's many reasons as there are different people in different settings. You may be in an urban setting. You might just have a patio, or you may have just a back door and you don't have yard, or you may be in a situation where you need to control, maybe you have a low-lying area. You need to control your systems. This is a great system control, and you can grow a lot of food in small spaces. And this is one way to do that. And you don't have to break the bank to do this. Pipes like these cost $8, but you might be able to build a couple boxes with that. Pipes like these are just $1 or $2. And again, you might get 2 or 3 fill pipes out of that. Fabric you might be using for a lot of different reasons, but you're not using much fabric here. So a roll of fabric may be enough to build 10 boxes. And this box here, $9.99, so basically $10. So, you know, for about $12, $13, you have a great container gardening system that'll be effective and can be used for years. So thanks for joining us today. I hope this helps you create your own container gardens, your own wicking bed systems. this is the infrastructure. This is step one. This is creating the actual container. And hopefully that step by step, I'll also give detailed descriptions in the description of this video, the show notes. And then tomorrow, when we come back, we will show you how to build the right soil mix for this system. It's special. You can't put dirt in here. If you put dirt in here, it's not gonna wick, it's gonna compact, it's gonna be a mess. So, pro tip, it's the right mix. The right mix will make the difference. So, probably more important than the structure is the mix. So tune in tomorrow when Bonnie will show you that. And I believe she's gonna have a special super fan helper, one of our grandkids, come alongside as her as well. So we enjoy going on this journey with you guys. We enjoy living life. If you have any comments or if you have any suggestions, I know we're always learning. So if you have suggestions and other approaches to this, I'd love to hear from you as well. And have a wonderful day. Thank you.